There was this exercise that we did back in one of my philosophy classes in university. It was kind of like a way of determining philosophically what is moral, what is immoral, what kind of society is moral, what kind of rules would be moral. And essentially, you had to imagine creating a society based on the fact that you don't know where you would be in society, as in, you don't know who you would be. So you could be a rich person, a poor person, straight, gay, disabled, and what kind of a world would you be okay with given the fact that you don't know where you would be in society? What kind of practices would you be okay with? Because I think oftentimes we look at the world, and because of our position in society, wherever we are, we determine, oh, that's okay because I'm not dealing with that, right? Like, so many things that we're okay with because we're not in that position. Now, I believe the exercise was mainly for humans, but I have learned to extend that to animals. Any sentient being, like living sentient being, someone that has the ability to suffer, I put into that category. And when we do that, what do we get? I think if I were to do this exercise and I think of the first thing I would get rid of that we do, right? Like the first practice I would get rid of, it is going to be factory farming. I would argue that that is the worst thing, okay? If I were to say, I don't know who I am, right? I don't know if I'm a cow. I don't know if I'm a chicken. I don't know if I'm a dog or a human, whatever. If I don't know who I am, that's the first thing I'm getting rid of, factory farming, because that is the worst thing, arguably, that is the worst thing that a sentient being could go through is factory farming, okay? Just imagine being born, and the minute you're born, you're probably ripped away from your mother. Then you are put in a cage too small for you to even move, barely, where there's diseases and it's unsanitary, it's disgusting. You're like lying in your own feces, and you know what's going on, right? Like maybe not to the extent that humans do, but like, you know to some extent what's going on. You feel the pain, you feel the suffering. And then at the end of your very short, miserable, horrendous, painful life, you are sent to slaughter. You are killed. That is a fate I would never wish upon my worst enemy. And we are doing it by the billions. And we justify that by saying, oh, they're just animals. That's why we talk about it. It doesn't mean I don't care about human issues, okay? In fact, most vegans I know care a lot about human rights and human issues. In fact, more than the average person, I would argue. We show the worst humans of our society, like the worst people that have done the worst, most evil things. We show them so much more mercy than we show innocent animals that have done nothing wrong.